Well, hey, gang, Jim Jacobus here. Welcome to this In the Sales Arena No Holds Barred Q&A coaching session on how to get a meeting with a key decision maker. Really excited for our time together today. I have last week did two different sales training programs for two different clients, and this is one of the key things that we did during those training programs. Was ended all up with how do you get a 15-minute meeting with just about any decision maker, and what do you do during that 15-minute meeting? Now, we're not going to be able to cover both of those subjects today, but I do want to give you some insights into how to get the meeting in the first place. And maybe we'll do another coaching call or a webinar down the road on the second piece of all of that. Thanks a lot to Leslie Ammerman, who posed this question or suggested that we cover this particular subject matter in a webinar. I really appreciate you guys that reach out to us and give us ideas. We've always got tons and tons and tons of stuff we can do. We certainly don't run out of any ideas. I think we could go for years without doing that. But we would much rather do the kinds of programs that would definitely bring value to you guys. And so again, Leslie, thanks so much for your recommendation of this particular program. And looking forward to sharing some ideas with you here. I have a quote or a little picture for us to start off with here today. It comes from Johnny Depp. It says, "Don't be afraid to take risks, to be creative, and to try things." I just love that quote. I saw that the other day and kind of saved it up for this one. I'm going to share with you a little bit of an out-of-the-box idea here. When I say out of the box, I think some of the things we're going to talk about today may be a little different than what we've done in the past. But I will tell you that it is proven to deliver results. Matter of fact, I did this sales training program for a client back at the very beginning of March, and I got some feedback from one of the ladies that was in the class and everything that during the month of March she got 12 meetings with people she had not been able to get a meeting with before. We had them put together a target list of 10 prospects that they wanted to be able to sit down and have a meeting with, and she was able to get 12 meetings. Now, a couple of things that we teach is, first thing, don't start off with your high potential prospects. We term it go to Montana first, all right? And what we mean by that is, through the years, as we have hired salespeople to sell what we do and everything, once we teach them what the script is that we want them to use, we don't have them call some of the high potential prospects right off the bat. We actually would have them call associations and vertical markets that we work in places like Montana and Idaho and Wyoming. Matter of fact, I may be the best known speaker in all of Montana. I actually had one of our sales reps at one point in time call an association up there. Evidently, we had called them a couple of times before. Because the guy that we got in touch with said, "Oh, you must be new. You're working for Jim Jacobus, right?" And the new sales rep said, "Well, yeah, why is that?" And he goes, "Well, I'm used to getting these calls every time Jim hires a new sales rep." So anyway, so don't be afraid to take risk, to be creative, to try things. Take what we're going to share with you today. Use the stuff that works for you. Whatever doesn't work, then certainly feel free to add to it, take away from it. But I'd love to get some feedback from you after we're done as to what did work for you. And if you have any questions on this, don't hesitate to let us know. So here's our agenda for today. First thing is we're going to talk about why we struggle to get a meeting with people in the first place. All right, what's getting in the way of that? And I get this during our workshops all the time. Somebody will say, "I have a client. I've been trying to get a hold of them for years and years and years, and I've never been able to get in front of them. What do you suggest?" All right, so we get this question all the time. We're going to talk about why we struggle to do that, and then we're going to talk about this proven strategy that we teach and teach on a regular basis. I'm going to give you some tips about using that strategy, and then certainly I'm going to answer any questions you have about this subject matter or any other subject that matter today in this coaching session. So that's kind of our agenda there. All right, so here's a quick little poll for you, all right? I want you to get familiar with the question section down there in your dashboard on your screen. And I can see some of you are looking at the screen. Some of you aren't. That's perfectly fine. I'm quite used to that by now. But I'd like for you to answer this question for me, all right? With your current approach, the way you try to reach out to new clients today, the way you do things, if you had 10 key decision makers or prospects that you really wanted to get in front of, how many of those do you think you could see in the next 30 days? All right. So with your current approach, the way you do things, if you had 10 people that you wanted to see, how many of those do you think you could actually get in front of in the next 30 days? So do me a favor, type that in the question section for me there, and let me see what your thoughts are on that. All right. Okay. 1, if I'm lucky. Okay, good, good. All right. 3, I've got 5. Awesome. That's a pretty good number right there. 5. All right. 2, none. 2 again. Wow, these things are flying in here. Okay, 2 or 3, something like that. I'd love to get 2. I'm not sure if that means you're not right now or that's what you think you would get. Okay. All right. So it's kind of from none all the way up to as many as 5. Okay. And let's see here. What's this one say? 5 if I could get the appointments. Okay, we're going to help you get more of those. 1 to 2 depending on their schedule. All right. Gotcha. Okay, good. Well, at the end of this, I'm going to see if you feel like you can do better. All right, that's kind of our goal here, is to figure out at the end of it. I'm going to do the poll again and see if you feel like you could do better at it. I want to see if this is going to be helpful to you. So let's talk about why we can't get that meeting. All right, what's getting in the way? Are there clients that let me just ask you all, you can raise your hand if the answer is yes on your dashboard. Are there clients right now that if you called them, they would answer almost immediately, they'd call you right back? All right, so raise your hand if the answer to that is yes. Okay, and the hands are going up everywhere. All right. Okay, good. All right, yeah, everybody says, look, there are people that I work with out there that if I called them, they would answer immediately or they'd call me right back. All right, good deal. So the question is, why is that? Why is that? And again, in your little comment section there, these coaching sessions tend to be a little more interactive. So in your comment section, do me a favor, type in there, why do you think that is? Why is it that there are certain people out there, if you call them right now, they're going to call you back right away. They're going to answer the phone. Why do you think that is? Okay, let me get your feedback on this. Let me see what your thoughts are. Okay. Because I'm so attractive. No, not in your case, my man. All right, relationship and history. I'm trusted advisor. Absolutely, I agree. Existing relationship built on trust and value. All right, I help them when they need it. They're familiar with my work and they know my techniques are work or they're effective. Okay, relationship and trusted. Okay. All right, there's a word in there that I want us to kind of grab a hold of here for our time together today. All right, and Don, you said it. Okay, here's the deal. They answer that phone call or call us right back because they believe that call brings value to them. Again, based upon our relationship, based on history, based on delivering in the past, they believe that when we call, if they answer and talk to us, that there is value in that phone call. There's value in that email that we send. There's value in the letter. All right. So the key word here is they perceive the call to hold value. Now, with that in mind, do you have a key decision maker that won't return your call, answer your email, or even give you the time of day? All right. I'm not even going to ask you to raise your hands because the answer is yes, and we all have that. And everybody's hand is going to go up. That's why we're on the call today, right? Why is that? Bottom line is they perceive there is no value in answering that call or email or not enough value for them to spend their time. That is one of the key things that we need to kind of keep as a backdrop to all of this. And anytime we're trying to reach out to clients, is the reason that they won't answer is the flip side of the reason why some of our clients immediately answer. They know we bring value. They've got a history with us. They've got relationship with us. Now, this key decision maker that we don't know that we're trying to get in front of, the reason they don't call or answer our call or respond to our email is because they don't perceive there's any value in doing that. We've got to flip the switch on that, and that's kind of where we're going today. All right? So does that make sense to everybody? Raise your hand if that makes sense. Let me get a quick little check-in with everybody. Raise your hand if that makes sense. Yep. My goodness. I got to tell you guys, I was so thrilled this morning. The registrations for the webinar went over 400 today. We have more than 400 people signed up for the webinars, and that is so exciting to us. I'm so appreciative and thankful for all of that. And now we're running about 45 to 50 on the webinars itself. So that's making some of the logistics a little more difficult, but I think it's adding a lot of energy. So, okay, thanks for raising your hands. And those of you who didn't, I get it. Okay, no big deal. All right, so how do we get a 15-minute meeting with just about anyone? Let's start off with the strategy, all right? So we recognize that some people answer our emails, they answer our phone calls because they know us, they know we bring value, they expect that they're going to spend 10 minutes on the phone, they're going to get something back for that. And now we need to get the attention of the decision maker that doesn't know who we are. So first thing I would ask you is if we sent a regular letter to a decision maker, all right? If we send 100 letters out to decision makers and we're trying to get them to communicate with us, how many of those letters do you think actually would get open? All right, again, another question for you. We sent out 100 letters to key decision makers trying to get a meeting. How many of those letters are going to actually be open and read by the decision maker? Let me see how many you got. Okay, 0. All right, 2, 1. All right, 10. All right, you guys are with me, okay? Not very many. Is that fair? Okay, just not a large number, very small percentage. And by the way, we're going to spend some time and money sending that out. I would tell you that I think the same thing is accurate about sending out emails if we don't do the right job there. And we're getting ready to send out a brand new study that we've done on subject lines that get emails open and read. And we'll be sending that out to all of you guys that are already on our list. And it'll be a free deal that we do, so you can look forward to that coming out there. So the answer is if we send out 100 letters, very few of them are going to be open. So we don't want to do that. Now, here's what we want to do. I'm going to send out some sort of priority mail, overnight UPS to that key decision maker, and it's going to go directly to them. Now, first thing I get is, well, it's going to cost a little bit of money. I understand that, right? If you look at what your average client is worth, and let's say that your average client's worth $10,000 a year, whatever that happens to be in your pocketbook, then if sending these out at $8 a piece doesn't make sense to you, then don't do it, all right? But most of the folks that are on this call, I know what you guys do. I know what most of our clients do. Sometimes the company will pay for this. Let me ask you a question now. If I send out 100 letters, and I'm not suggesting you do 100. Matter of fact, I'm suggesting you start with 10, all right? Just start with 10. If you send out 100 of these, though, just to make it really simple, using these overnight priority mail envelopes addressed directly to the decision maker, how many of those do you think would get open by them? Okay, how many of those do you think would get open? Let me see your feedback here. 90, 80. Okay. All right, 75. Now, first thing is, can we agree that we have significantly increased our odds? Fair? All right, good deal. So, yeah, 10 times more than any other way. Good deal. All right, so now we've got the letter in front of our key decision maker, and they have opened it up. Typically, their admins will not open up anything that's in an envelope like this. They're going to open it up themselves. Now, what's important is what we have in the envelope. All right, 2 things. First thing is a carefully crafted letter, and I'm going to walk you through that here in just a minute. And then the second thing needs to be in that envelope is something of value to them. All right, something that would be of value to them. And quick little note here, if you're taking notes out there, or if you're listening to this in a replay, that is not my brochure. All right, my brochure is not of value to them. Typically, it's written about me. It's all about me and everything. Now, if you have a really great written brochure, I'd certainly like to see it. But in general, it's not a brochure about us or our company. That's not what we're looking for. Here's what we're looking for. We want to put something in that envelope that's valuable to them, like a case study. All right, something where our company has delivered an ROI to a client. Some kind of a white paper that has been written on the industry or about the product, or about their industry or something of that nature. any kind of market research that we have. And for those of you who are my real estate agents out there that are on this call, and I see a couple of you guys in here today, that would be market research on the neighborhood that you serve and things of that nature. Or it could be an article of interest to them. And I really encourage you, if you've not done this, that you put Google alerts out there. And if you're not familiar with Google Alert, just go to Google and Google Alerts and put Google Alerts on these 10 prospects, put them on the company, on the product, on the industry, and on the individual that you're trying to connect with, and look for something of value coming across the board about them, about their industry. File that away in some kind of a file somewhere that you can access and print that article out for them. All right, I will tell you that this is a great way of building that deep, what somebody said a while ago, partner-advisor relationship with clients, is to make sure that you're constantly looking out for them. And Google Alerts is a great way to do that. I did get one of the sales training programs that we sold a couple years ago. I got it because I had put a Google alert out on a guy, and he was recognized by the University of Alabama as an alumni that had played baseball there. And I simply did my homework and sent him the article via email and said, "Hey, man, congratulations on all of this." Well, that wasn't why he chose me, but he did tell the people during the workshop that I did that one of the reasons he chose me was because I was smart enough to do that, and he wanted somebody in front of them that was smart enough to teach them to do that. So again, Google Alerts are really cool. I would not use the daily recaps. I would use the weeklies, or else you're going to get inundated with email. So the bottom line is we're going to put a very carefully crafted letter, and I'm fixing to walk you through what needs to be in that letter. And we need to put something in the envelope that's of value to them. All right? Case study, white paper, market research, an article of interest, anything that would be valuable to them. Because again, we're trying to build this brand that says, when you get something from me, a phone call, a letter, an email, it has value in it. Okay, let me take a quick break here and ask you guys questions, feedback, thoughts. Again, this is more of a coaching session and not a training webinar. So I want to get your feedback, get your thoughts, get any questions you have right now. Okay, well, I take a look at the brochure that you would send out to determine if it would be valuable to, absolutely. Email that to me, jim@jjacobus.com, jim@jjacobus.com, or jim@thesalesgladiators.com, either one. And I'll be glad to look at that and tell you whether I think that would be appropriate to put in this letter. Because you don't want to send a letter out that's all about you. That's really where we're going with this. This is not about us. This is about them and showing interest in them and bringing value to them. Okay, any other questions? All right. What if the case study is about us? Okay, well, if the case study is about you, but it's about the ROI you brought to a client, then absolutely, I think that's very valuable. And as long as it's done well and it's not too, quote, salesy, if you will, send that to me. I'll be glad to look at it. Yes, absolutely. I can look at that. Glad to do that. White papers. Okay, yes, those are good. Awesome, good deal. Okay, let's move on here. Let's look at the next piece. Let's talk about the letter that we're going to put in there, right? We want to make sure, trust me, I would encourage you to do this exactly the way I'm going to share it with you. Once you've done that, if you want to tweak it, fine. My concern is if you tweak something in the middle of it and you use a different approach or whatever until you tried what we're going to teach you here that we know works, you might minimize some of your results that way, and I don't want you to do that. So here's the basics of the letter. First thing is we've done some homework, all right? I'm going to start the letter off with, I am writing you this letter because, and again, it's not very, I'm not going to try to be very correct with all of this. I just want you to get the gist of it all. I am writing this letter because I heard, I read, I saw, I noticed, all right, and I heard from someone in the industry. I read in the Wall Street Journal. I saw on your website where. I noticed in your chairman's report. I noticed in your mission statement, vision statement. All of those are reasons why I'm sending you this letter. I noticed that you guys manufacture. I saw where you got a promotion and maybe transferred if you're my real estate guys out there. If you're my speaker folks, I noticed that you had Sherry Freisinger speak at your event last year. Something along the lines that says, we've done our homework and I'm writing you this letter because of that. All right. So I'm not writing you because I'm amazing. I'm not writing you because I'm desperate for business. I'm not writing you because I'm the coolest real estate agent that ever walked the planet. I'm not writing you because we have 80% of the yacht paint market in the world. I'm not writing you any of that. I'm writing you because I noticed something about you. All right. So we've done our homework. That's the first thing. Next thing is the best ever would be, I'm writing you because Jim Jacobus told me I should. Now, I wouldn't put that in there. That's probably going to hurt you more than help you. But what I mean is, I'm writing you because someone suggested I do that. Now, this is going to sound maybe a little bit of a stretch, but I think when used properly, it's perfectly fine. I asked a client of mine the other day if they thought I should contact somebody that's in the same business they're in. Matter of fact, I was doing some sales training for Mercedes-Benz, and I asked them, do you think I should contact the Mercedes-Benz store in Dallas? And their answer was yes. And I said, who do you think I should speak to up there? And they said, you should speak to Sally Blank. All right. I said, awesome. So when I sent the letter to Sally, I said, so-and-so at Mercedes-Benz in Houston suggested I reach out to you. Okay. Told me to talk to you, told me to reach out to you. Now, again, they didn't proactively make that happen, but it was a byproduct of me asking some questions, and they said, yeah, you should reach out to her. So if you're working with a client, you might say, do you think I should talk to so-and-so, so-and-so? And if they say, yes, I do think you should. And if you say, who do you think I ought to reach out to there? And they give you a name, then I would reach out to them and say, Steve Dees told me I should reach out to you. Does that make sense? Is that okay with everybody? And again, if you don't feel comfortable with that, don't do it. But the best reason I am writing this letter is because somebody who knows me and somebody who knows you recommended I do that. Okay, so that's the beginning of the letter. I'm writing this letter because the best possible entry is somebody told me to. Somebody told me I should reach out to you. Now, here's what we're going to request in the letter itself. After we've set it up, okay, I would like just 15 minutes of your time. Now, let me kind of land here real quick. Let me ask you guys a question. Why am I only asking for 15 minutes? Okay, what are your thoughts there? Okay, you guys can type that in the question section down there. Why do you think I'm only asking for 15 minutes? What's the reason behind that? Okay. Okay, yep, easier to fit into their schedule. Absolutely, Sherry, good job. And they know it won't be a long, boring meeting. Absolutely. What else? Anybody else has some thoughts? Non-intrusive. Pretty confident they won't be sold to. What could it hurt? Absolutely. That's kind of right along the right lines there. That's what we're looking for. It's easier to commit to, says you're going to get to the point quickly. Absolutely. All right. Yeah, all of those are really good reasons. Let me share a couple of more with you I think we want to keep in mind. First thing is the reason they'll go along with 15 minutes. And let's see here, Laura, I think you may have hit on that. It's a small investment. Absolutely. It's a minimum amount of time. All right. It's not a huge investment. And the reason they don't want to make a huge investment is they've had too many salespeople come in there, stand in front of them, and do what I call show up and throw up. You guys have heard me talk about that before, and waste their time talking about themselves. All right. There's just a quick little study or information from some studies we've done. And Don, you're familiar with this because you've been a part of some training we've done in the past. A lot of the training we do, we give people some homework that when they first get there, they're going to get to do a 10-minute presentation to a client in a role play situation where the clients ask for them to come and tell them about their company. We did this at AkzoNobel, we do it with Mercedes-Benz, we do it with real estate agents. Somebody asked you to come and they said, I've given you 10 minutes to do a presentation to tell me about, Axel Nobel. Well, we put them in front of another one of the sales reps. They role play, we video it and everything. And we measure how long does it take them to start what we call selling or talking about themselves. 95 out of 100 won't make it 60 seconds before they say, hey, Jim, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. Let me tell you about my company. All right. And they got a brochure out and they're pushing it across the table at them. Less than 60 seconds. Happens all the time. So people who are in the business of being sold to, they're tired of that. They're fed up with somebody showing up and throwing up. And so 15 minutes is a minimum amount of investment. If you're not any good, they'll get rid of you and move on to their life. All right. Now, here's the good news. If you do a good job of this, that 15 minutes can turn into a lot longer. And we hear that all the time from people in our workshops. They use the methodology and they only had 15 minutes, but either the person they were talking to made it longer than 15 minutes, and I'll tell you why in a minute, or they said, hey, look, I only had 15 minutes. Can you come back? All right, so we're only going to ask for 15 minutes of their time because that is safe for them for all kinds of reasons, including the ones you guys shared with us, all right? Now, let's see here. Okay. To learn about you and your business, this is huge. I would like 15 minutes of your time to learn about you and your business. What's their favorite subject? It's them. It's their business. It's themselves. All right. So we've already said our agenda is to learn about you and your business. I only want 15 minutes to learn about you and your business. I guarantee you right now, we have separated ourselves out from 95% of all the other salespeople on the planet that are trying to get in front of this decision maker. We're already in a 5% category because we said it's only 15 minutes. I want to learn about you. I want to learn about your business. I want to determine if we were to partner with you to provide, fill in the blank, would we be able to exceed your expectations and bring you value? So my agenda is this. I want to spend 15 minutes of your time to learn about you and your business to determine if we were to partner with you to provide speaking, training, consulting, real estate, paint, coverings, all of these things that you guys do out there. Would we be able to exceed your expectations and bring you value? So again, now we're down into a category of 3 out of 100, all right, that really understand what we're there for. And then you got to learn how to say this, gang. For heaven's sake, please do this. I see people get make nervous by this. I see people roll their eyes at this and everything. Oh, that's arrogant and all that. Okay, fine and dandy. Trust me, you start doing this, watch the dynamic change. And to determine whether your business would be good for us. I want to find out, can we exceed your expectations and bring you value? And would your business be good for us? Now, I have seen all kinds of reactions to this last one. I've seen a client go, well, why wouldn't my business be good for you? And I'll say something along the lines of this. Look, as a sales guy, I'm a small businessman. I have to make sure I get a great return on investment for my time. And so, quite frankly, some clients, I can't get a good return on investment. That doesn't make them good or bad people. It just means I don't get a good ROI. You might say something along the lines of, we serve a very specific niche of clients or niche, whichever you like. And not every client fits into that niche. I want to make sure we can exceed your expectations and bring you value. And if I can't do that, then your business wouldn't be good for us. Well, however you want to respond to that, here's what happens though in their mind. They start trying to figure out how to sell us on why they want to do business with us. They'll wind up selling us on why we should do business with them. It creates a great dynamic, and I really encourage you to have the courage to try that and set that expectation that this is a quid pro quo. I want to bring you value. I want to make sure you bring me value. All right, so that's the request. Now, here's our agenda. I want to ask 3 questions about you and your business. Okay? I want to cover 3 questions about you and your business, however you want to put that in there. I write there, our agenda would be to cover 3 questions I have about you and your business. Question number 1, what do you expect from the companies you choose to do business with? Now, again, if you're a corporate entity out there, I know so many of you are on these calls nowadays, then you use that. If you're a speaker, what do you expect from my company? all right, from my organization. And even if you're a solopreneur out there, what do you expect from my organization? What do you expect from our team? However you want to put that. What do you expect from our broker? What do you expect from Keller Williams? Or what do you expect from whatever your company name is, all right? That's the first question that I have for you. The second question is, what do you expect from the products and or services you invest in? And again, you have to tweak that based upon what you sell. What do you expect from the protective coatings you buy? What do you expect from the listing process or the buying process in real estate? What do you expect from me as a consultant, from the consulting processes we use? All right. So what do you expect from our company? What do you expect from the process or the service or the product, if you will? And then the last thing is, what do you expect from me? What do you expect from me as your sales rep, your agent, your broker? Fill in the blank there, guys. You got to tweak this to whatever you do. All right, so the agenda would be to find out if I can bring you value, and if you bring value to us. I've got 3 questions to ask you. What do you expect from the companies you do business with? What do you expect from the products and services you buy? And what do you expect from me as your sales rep, agent, broker, or whatever? All right, now let me stop again. Any questions? Any questions, thought, feedback? I want to make sure we got this going for you. Okay, nobody? Good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate that. Roll on. Okay, we'll roll on then. Got it. Don't see any questions popping up. We'll roll on. Now you close the letter with, I'll be calling you on Monday. I'll be calling you early. I prefer early next week or later next week to give me kind of a 2 or 3 day window there. If I say I'll call you early next week, kind of gives me Monday, Tuesday, half day on Wednesday to do it in. But you can say I'll be calling you on Monday to set up our 15 minutes. I look forward to learning more about you and your business. All right. This is all about them. It's not about us. Now, if I were doing the other half of this, I would tell you that when we get there, it's going to be about them. We're not going to sell anything. Matter of fact, if they say, well, Jim, tell me about what you do. And so, we're in a consulting business. We design sales training programs for a real wide variety of clients. But quite frankly, I couldn't even begin to give you an idea of what we might be able to do for you until I learned everything I need to know about you guys. I would resist the urge to sell anything, even if they try to get me to, even if they try to drag me down that road. Look, it's really about you. It's really about learning about your business. Once I get a sense of what that is, then I'll be able to bring some ideas back to you. But for now, I really want to learn more about you guys. Okay. So it's really continue to focus on, it's all about them. I'll be calling you on Monday to set up our 15-minute meeting. I really look forward to learning more about you and your business. Okay. So that's the methodology. That's the strategy and the tactics involved there. Let me just ask you guys, why do you think this works so well? Again, I hear clients all the time tell me, I got so many more appointments. I got them right away and everything. Why do you think this works well? What do you think are the reasons behind that? Okay. Yeah, that's where you guys type in the question deal down there. Don't leave me hanging out here all by myself. All right. It's all about them. Yes, absolutely. I like the letter, the overnight letter. Yep, absolutely. That certainly helps. No pressure on them. Absolutely. Sure. This is not salesy. I tell people this is not salesy, but this is about as good a sales methodology I think you're ever going to see. The real success in selling is not in selling, but in asking great questions and listening. They're the important one in the meeting. Absolutely. No pressure. Absolutely. We're leaving out one word here, gang. I want us to grab a hold of. It's that word we talked about a while ago. Yeah, there you go. Value. It's about value to them. It's about them. It's about the value that we bring to them. Okay? Absolutely. So here's what we put down for you. First thing is we got their attention with the letter. All right? And we want to make sure that we do that. Okay? That's what we want to be able to do. Second thing, we immediately and consistently through the process communicated value. All right? Now, let's see here. Laura just wrote down, it sets you up as a trusted advisor. Absolutely, Laura. We're going to start working on that level 5 and 6 relationship we've talked about before right off the bat. All right? We're building value so that we are seen as partner trusted advisor. You betcha. All right? So we immediately and consistently communicating value. We communicate value in the way we write the letter. We communicate value in what we put in there with the letter in the form of a case study or market research or something like that, an article about their industry. So we immediately and consistently communicate value. We are now separating ourselves from the rest of the planet when it comes to other people trying to get their attention. All right, it's only 15 minutes. Good minimum investment. If we're not any good, we're out of there. They can check their watch and go, we're done. All right. So all of that's absolutely, and we made it all about them. Okay. It's all about them. It's all about what works for them. And that's the key. Okay. All right. Questions? Anybody have any questions out there? All right. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Yeah. Just thank you. All right. Yeah. That's good. Okay. Let's see here. Here's a good question. If we did the research on their company, why do we want to find out more? Is it to qualify them? Now, Sherry, the first thing is that's a great question. That's looking into this with some really good insight. Um, we can do all of the research that we want to. We could know everything they're going to tell us. All right. And again, let's say we knew 100% of what they're going to tell us. It's them getting to tell us about it, though. It's them getting to share that. It's them putting their spin on it. It's them answering all of these questions that we have for them. And by the way, I'm going to ask the question, they're going to answer. And let's say I say, what do you expect from the companies that you choose to do business with? Well, we really expect a lot of great service. All right. And I would say, awesome. Everybody that I deal with has a different idea of what service looks like. Tell me what service looks like to you, Sherry. And they would say, well, to us, service is like, if we order it, we need it in about 2.5 to 3 days. I mean, we really want it fast. And we actually had this in a workshop the other day, and I would say something along the lines of, I know that this particular client we worked with can do it in a day. And I would say something along the lines of 2 or 3 days, that's all. And the client may say yes. And they go, well, awesome then, because, I mean, we typically perform much better than that. I'm pretty confident that if that's the case, we'd be in great shape. So it's to get it from their mouth and let them talk about themselves. And yeah, so you say, so it's that personal relationship we're beginning to nurture. Absolutely. All right. And again, I know this. I can do all the research possible out there, and I can still, by asking these great questions, really find out more about them. One of the things I like to ask them is, so what do you expect from me as a sales rep? Well, I expect honesty and integrity, and I expect you to keep me up on what's going on. And I say, awesome. Give me an idea. Who's somebody out there that that does a good job of that for you? Well, I like Cesar Rincon. Cesar does a great job of taking care of us, and we really appreciate his integrity and character. And then I'll say something along the lines of, I see Cesar on a regular basis. I mean, he is a great guy. I know his company. I run into them everywhere I go. I mean, he wins some, we win some, great competitors. So that tells me a lot about what your expectations are. And quite frankly, that's exciting to me as well. So I can use the responses to the questions that I ask to establish credibility. I always ask them, tell me somebody who does a good job of it. Then I will turn around and say something along the lines of, without giving any names, because I don't want to do that. That's not fair to them. Tell me what it looks like when it's not done well. And then they can tell me the downside to it. So, as much as I can learn by asking these very defined set of questions, you'll see there in 3 layers there, and then digging down deep into that, I can find out what their expectations are so that when I bring a presentation back, it's laser focused. I'm not showing up and throwing up and hoping something sticks. That's kind of why we're doing that. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. So yeah, good question there, Sherry. Anybody else? Nope, 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 nope. Okay. That makes sense. Yep, yep. Good stuff. Can't wait to use it. Yeah, do me a favor. Use it. Let me know if I can help you in any way. Okay. All right. So again, we're trying to keep these to the right amount of time so you guys can get back to what you're doing. So here's a quick poll then. With this approach, if you had 10 key decision makers or prospects you wanted to meet with, how many do you think you could see in the next 30 days now? Let me see what your thoughts are about that. How many do you think you could see now using this approach? And by the way, guys, the answer is more than using my current approach if you want to make me feel good. If not, don't worry about it. Just put down what you think the answer is. More? Okay, that's fair. I'll take that. And again, this is a numbers game, gang. I told somebody the other day, do I think you're going to get 10 out of 10? No. But if you're getting 2 right now and I could make that 5 out of 10, we're going to perform better. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game. If I can make that 6 or 7 out of 10, if in the next 60 to 90 days I could get you in front of 15 new decision makers, how would that change your business? All right. Just changing the letter to focus on them and make the meeting shorter could change the world. Thank you. Absolutely, Don. I agree with that, man. Okay. All right. So I'm guessing this makes good sense to you. Certainly, if you're not sure, let me know. 6 or 7. Yeah, absolutely. Good deal. All right. So if you have any questions we can answer, you can go to the salesgladiators.com/QIF and put it in there, or you can email me, Jim at thesalesgladiators.com, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. If you want to get on the phone with me and walk through something, you want to send me your documents, send me your letter to proof, don't hesitate. Glad to do that stuff, gang. So again, our hope for you this year is, as always, if you're new, we want to help you set a great foundation. If you're that sales rep that's stuck in the middle, or the consultant stuck in the middle, or a lot of my speaking buddies and friends out there are kind of stuck, we want to help you get out of that. This kind of technique right here can get you out of that stuck in the middle category, which I think is the worst place to be, because you can see the people that are doing a good job of it, and you know you've got what it takes, but you're just missing a few things. This is the kind of stuff that can take you to the top, and then certainly if you're already at the top and you need 2 or 3 more key clients, this approach will get you in to see those folks on a consistent basis, much better than anything I've ever seen. So thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys. Again, I can't tell you how fortunate we feel that you guys are a part of what we're doing here. And I'm really blessed to be a part of working with you. So thanks a lot. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can email me, Jim at thesalesgladiators.com. Feel free to call me if you want to. That's why I put the number down there, and glad to do that. So let me check off last few questions here. Make sure I haven't listened to anything. Oh, you know what? Thank you, Sherry. That was really kind of you. Sherry said, thanks for pulling my focus back to where it needs to be. That's really a lot coming from you, because I know how focused you are. And so, yeah, if I can help you in any way, I'm glad to do that. But you bet. Thank you for that. That's very, very kind coming from you. So thank you guys. This is making my day here. So, all right, gang. Well, I'm going to sign off now. And again, I'll have this up and published. You can listen to it. And by the way, quick little note here. Feel free to share this stuff with people. We're growing like crazy every day because you guys are passing this stuff on, and we don't mind it at all. Somebody said the other day, are you not worried somebody's going to steal your stuff, or somebody's going to take and pay for your membership and share that with 20 people? Nope. Don't care. Not going to try to police it. Not going to worry about it. If somebody needs it that bad, they're welcome to it. We just very much grateful dead approach, and that we're just glad to be of service, and we trust that that'll take care of itself. So no, I don't care if you share it. No, I don't worry about somebody buying one membership and giving it out to 20 salespeople on the same team. I am not going to worry about that. If they need it, they're welcome to. But I invite you guys to share this and pass it on. So we very much appreciate you guys. Quick little heads up here. You'll be getting an email from us here pretty quick, but we are going to move the webinars to Thursdays. And again, we're going to ask your feedback on that, but our plan is to move them to Thursdays for a number of logistical challenges that we're running into that would make Thursdays a little bit better on our end, but we want to make sure that it doesn't create a problem on your end. So if you have any thoughts about that, we'll look forward to hearing from you about that. So anyway, gang, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Go out there and do something now to build that sales career and life you want, and let us know if we can do anything to help you. You guys have a great day. Take care.